and welcome to a new news section. And today I'm going to talk to you about Groove, what I talked to them about when we were at the Idol in Tokyo last Sunday. So basically there wasn't a lot to this conversation, and we spent a few hours actually discussing Pullips and what's going on, and especially I asked them your question from Facebook and your demands. So let's get started with the questions. First, is there going to be more Buell? So as some of you may know, I'm not a Buell fan. I know a lot of you around, especially in the Facebook group, are Buell fans and would love to have a new Buell doll very quickly if possible. And the thing is, Buell isn't selling really well, so that's why she has been discontinued for the moment. And they still have prototype coming at several dolly events before. I have seen Buell in different settings, and you probably have seen the leaked picture of the Alice series. There is a Buell there, the new Alice optical series. And the thing is, Buell is not doing well, and Groove is not going to be releasing any new Buell unless, and that's a big unless. So the Buell that was doing the best was Buell Lilith. So if any of you can come up with a Buell prototype that would do as awesome as Buell Lilith, they might make it. The thing is, Buell Lilith did really well, and then they created the Steampunk Buell, and the Steampunk Buell didn't go too well. So technically they don't want to create Kawaii Buell because the Kawaii Buell don't do so well. So the only Buell that really worked for them was Lilith. So if any of you can come up with a Buell that is that awesome, like as awesome as Lilith, they might take a look into it. Otherwise I don't see it coming. Like, they didn't tell me 100% no Buell, but the way I understood it, my personal opinion is, unless they have a very good prototype for a new Buell, it won't come out. So the second point was about prototype. The older prototypes that we all see online that have never been released. And there is Queen Elizabeth I in that series. There is also a few very cute Pullips, and there is also the Pullips from the Bird of Mystery, or I think it's a Bird of Mystery, like the EO series. And there was also the like mirror counterpart. People wanted Taeyong Arang and the Buell that goes with. A few of them, so like I mentioned all those prototypes that you would like to see released because they already prototyped. But the problem is, Buell doesn't, Groove doesn't really have the power to release older prototype. When they make a prototype, they ask people what people think, people like classify which prototype are the best, and then they make the doll that are the more appreciated. And some of those dolls don't get so much appreciation, and therefore they don't like come out as normal release. So if you want any of the older prototype to be released, Groove is not the chain from where to go there. So what I'm going to propose you is just, it might not work, I have no idea how to really proceed to have it work 100%, but this is what my idea about it is. If you want an older prototype to be released, you should make a poll, maybe in Facebook, in one of the Facebook group, or maybe in all of the Pullip Facebook group. You make a poll, you list the prototype, you put the pictures of the prototype, and everybody can vote for whichever prototype they want. And then you can petition that to AGA. AGA has a Facebook page and they have Instagram account, which is a little bit not doing anything, but they still have an Instagram account. And during their competition, their photo contest for Halloween, they were very active on their Facebook page to talk to all the fans and answer to all the fans who posted a picture. So they might see you if you post there on their Facebook page, but we will never have an older prototype release if it's only one person asking. If I just like a doll and say, I want this doll to be released, they're not going to do it because it's just me. If we act as a group and tell them, okay, there is 100% who wants this doll to be released with a particular old prototype model, we might have a better chance. It's just, it's the way I see things. I'm not sure everybody's going to see that because, it's a one-person decision at the end of the day. If we got Mango Park to agree, it's going to be made. Basically, that's how it works. So, if there is enough of us, it has more weight and it has a better possibility for business. So if you really want one of the older prototype to be released, please create this type of poll and petition AGA, because Groove cannot do anything if AGA doesn't agree. So another thing about the older doll, I'm probably sure a lot of you have been saying themis.illustrations. That's the name she has on Instagram. And she is now in the Facebook group recently because Angela invited her. She's a French artist and she actually takes pictures of Pullip and put them into famous paintings. And she has several paintings, as right now there is Queen Elizabeth I, so a different version than the Pullip prototype. There is Marie Antoinette, there is a few others. I don't remember, I can see the picture in my head but I don't remember the title of the painting. So this person, which I think her heart is really beautiful, and I think the Pullip in her heart is really beautiful, so I actually showed them to the Groove manager. I showed her Instagram account and he took her name. So far that's all there is. So I don't know if the Pullip on that the Pullips she's making from the painting are ever going to be released. It's not even into the discussion. The only thing is Groove know it exists. So that's all. I think a lot of people wanted Groove to see those pictures, to have ideas about beautiful doll to be making. So that's done, okay? They know. Maybe we have to tell them again later, but they know. Another thing was about collaboration with AMUSE. So I asked, and this was probably I need to introduce you to my friend Xavier. And if you're not French, you're probably not going to understand what I mean by that. But if you are a little bit knowledgeable on French culture, or if you have seen the movies from which that is, that's kind of my favorite line of movie. It's first is the Spanish Inn, then there is the Poupée Russe, which means Russian doll, so l'auberge espagnole, les poupées russes, and then casse-tête chinois. So that's French title. It's very international movie. It's always multiple languages are used in this movie. It's really good. It's a story of a guy who go to be a student in Barcelona. So this is Xavier, okay? And in this particular setting, Xavier is playing music. And basically, when I talked about AMUSE, a lot of people were I wanted an alpaca Pullip. Everybody wants a alpaca plushie, and a lot of us are Pullip fan, and a crossover between the alpaca and Groove to make an awesome alpaca Pullip would have been awesome. But then I asked, so can you have like a collaboration with AMUSE to make us an alpaca doll? And first he didn't know what the alpacas were, so I said it's like AMUSE is a Japanese company, they make plushies, and then he said to me that they only make things for UFO capture and don't sell them to the public, so they cannot have, like, nobody knows about AMUSE. And then I said, no, I have AMUSE plushies, and they do sell to the public. They do have a wide fan base. They do have stores that specialize into selling plushies, including the alpacas and the other animals they're making. And so he said, okay, maybe, but AMUSE doesn't have, they're just making animals, they don't have any characters, they don't have any contract to make characters, they don't have any original character, so we cannot actually have a collaboration with them because they don't have any character and they don't have any like character rights. So if we make alpaca Pullip, it would be just a alpaca shape, like a Pullip with a alpaca outfit from Groove, without any thing to do with AMUSE, and like apparently they don't want to do that because Pullip in a like animal shape wouldn't work anything. And so I'm very sorry, Coronham, you're not a character, you don't exist basically. So this is my Coronham from AMUSE. AMUSE has actually several characters, at least in the hamster series they have several. This is Coron, like this color, he's a Coron hamster. Anyway, so I don't know if they have like license for those characters or if all the bootleg are actually legal, but like AMUSE fans don't really like bootlegged alpaca or bootleg hamsters, so I don't know if they are just going crazy or if really, like, and if really Groove is right and AMUSE doesn't have any say in whoever wants to reproduce this guy. But personally, I would actually love like a Pullip with a AMUSE alpaca would have been so awesome. Like, she doesn't need to wear a alpaca outfit. She can be like a little girl type, like maybe Akemi type, or maybe like Tifona type, like a very classical doll, or like a little girl, like maybe modern little girl with plushies. She could have like a small hamster, which is like bigger than her head. For a Pullip that would be quite big actually. Or she could have like a small alpaca, because AMUSE is making small one as well. So yeah, that was my take on that, but apparently we were really not on the same wavelengths, so that's why the music is so weird. Anyway, so what else did happen? I'm not like, the thing is, we split inside the conferences, like inside the doll exposition, so I went around to take all the pictures you saw in the previous video, and Groove went to people who actually make clothes for Pullip, eyes for Pullip, customized Pullip, so they went to all those people that were at the doll festival, and probably tried to know like information on if anyone wanted to work with them or anything, but I have no idea who is going to work with them or anything like that, like from that L doll at least. And then what question did you have? Yes, my own personal question. So that's the only one I'm not answering. But the poll I put, so I put the poll in two different groups. I put the poll for the Vocaloid in the Omocha Crush group, and I put the poll in the French-speaking group called Pullip Passion. And technically we roughly had the same type of answer. So the Vocaloid you guys would like to see are Gummy and Seu. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right, because it's like C-E-U S-E-E-U. So, C-U, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, that's the character, and Gakupo was third, I think, so that's the character that came out the most in the Vocaloid series that you would like to see. So I basically told Groove about the poll. I'm going to be sending them an email showing them the result combined from the French and the American fan base. So, and we'll see if they do anything about it. Yeah, so basically that's it. My feeling at the end of the conversation I had was that mostly everything we actually wish for, we're not gonna get. It's like the like light pale tone dolls. We have Optical Ali, so I don't think they're going to make another one. The darker skin tone, you have to ask AGA for that, so I'm not sure it's going to happen soon. I also ask not only for darker skin tone like Mocha, but I also ask for much darker skin tone, like very dark brown or something. And I also gave them a word about having like fantasy skin color, which would be awesome. And I mean, if there is a blue Pullip coming out, like Avatar style blue Pullip, which is not going to come out because Avatar is probably a US franchise and they have to deal with all the US stuff to be able to have it out as a Avatar Pullip, whatever. So like any green witch Pullip, whatever, like whatever fantasy, I think any kind of Pullip which is kind of unusual would be well received. And I even think that if they get a new Buell out, because it has been so long since the new Buell was out, that they could have a good, like, people would buy that because it has been so long since there was a Buell. But technically that's only my thinking and not really their thinking. So yeah, I was a little bit down actually after that conversation when I think about it a bit more, because everything we ask for is going to be really hard to get, and we're going to have to go through other channel and ask AGA. And I don't know anyone who is in contact with AGA. I know a few other people who are in contact with Groove. Like I just knew that recently, actually after that conversation, people who actually talk to Groove. And the other thing is, I don't know anyone with AGA. So if there is anyone out there who is in contact with Mango Pork or AGA as a fan, like me, please contact me and let's work together to get something like the entire international Pullip fan community would like. That would be a really good work to do. But on the other side, Groove is making like huge effort to have like a very big, huge project out. And I think like our little demands in comparison are like kind of like a drop in a bucket, you know. It just they are planning big things. I saw a few pictures for something. I heard about others that are possibilities, so nothing is well defined, but they have like big huge project. So, and so far none of the thing I ever saw ever came out yet. It's because it takes so long. It takes like more than a year for Pullip to be made. So I don't know how it's going to go, but technically if everything they want to achieve right now is going to come out, it's going to be like pretty cool, I guess. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to try and participate in a petition for AGA in any kind, I think the best way is to go to your like personal group, start something there, vote for a Pullip or a Taeyong or anything that you actually like, and ask AGA on their Facebook page. That seems to be the easiest way so far as I know to contact them. And yeah, basically that's it for today. So me and Mr. Coron here are going to say see you next time for something else, and have fun whatever you do. Bye!